Hello everyone, today we're setting course for a journey into the future. A future that pushes the boundaries of human imagination. Have you ever considered what would happen if Earth was no longer livable? And we, as a species, had to pack up and leave? This isn't just a plot of a sci-fi novel, but a question that scientists and futurists grapple with as we explore more about our universe and our place in it. So strap yourself in as we delve into the fascinating scenario of humanity's greatest voyage, escaping Earth to settle on a new habitable world. Picture a futuristic spaceship, but not just any spaceship. This one is large enough to accommodate hundreds, if not thousands of people. It's a floating city in space, a haven for human life amidst the infinite cosmos. This is the concept of a space ark or generation ship. It's not a new concept by any means. The term generation ship was first used in science fiction literature in the mid-20th century. The idea is simple yet profound. A self-sustaining spaceship that can support human life over multiple generations, enabling the colonization of distant planets. This ship wouldn't be like the shuttles or stations we currently use for space exploration. It would need to replicate the conditions on Earth as closely as possible. The ship's design might include large rotating cylinders to create artificial gravity, a concept proposed by physicist Gerard K. O'Neill. Picture immense green spaces for agriculture and relaxation, housing structures, schools, hospitals, and everything else you would find in a city back on Earth. This would be a moving microcosm of our planet, a fully functional society in space. Imagine, too, the wide windows of the ship that look out onto the star-speckled blackness, where children born on board would marvel at the swirling galaxies passing by, an ever-changing spectacle far surpassing any earthly landscape. This isn't mere speculation. Some scientists believe that such a ship could be our best hope for reaching habitable planets beyond our solar system, planets that would otherwise take thousands of years to reach with our current propulsion technology. So what might propel such a ship, and what might life be like aboard this gigantic vessel? Let's delve into the possibilities. Getting from Earth to a distant exoplanet is no easy task. With our current technology, it would take tens of thousands of years to reach even the closest potentially habitable planet. Clearly, if our survival as a species depended on making such a journey, we would need a much faster method of travel. But what could that look like? Well, many different propulsion methods have been proposed for interstellar travel. One such proposal involves ion drives, a type of engine that expels ions to create thrust. While they provide a slow initial acceleration, ion drives are incredibly efficient and can reach much higher speeds than traditional chemical rockets over long distances. Another promising candidate is the concept of a nuclear propulsion system. One variant of this, known as Project Orion, proposed the idea of propelling a ship using a series of nuclear explosions. However, the inherent risks and potential for catastrophic failure have kept such concepts mostly confined to the drawing board. Yet another exciting concept comes straight out of the world of science fiction: the warp drive. While it still remains firmly in the realm of theory, some physicists have suggested that it might be possible to bend space-time in such a way that a ship could jump across vast distances almost instantaneously. Regardless of the method, the propulsion system of our hypothetical space ark would need to be incredibly efficient, reliable, and capable of sustaining a voyage that could potentially last hundreds or even thousands of years. But assuming we've got our ship moving, what would life be like for the generations of humans born and raised aboard the space ark? Let's imagine. So, we've built our spaceship, we've propelled it out of Earth's atmosphere, and now we're on our way to a new world. But what happens next? What would life on board this space ark look like? First, we need to consider that this is no ordinary journey. The trip could potentially take multiple generations to complete, meaning that some of those on board would be born, live and die without ever setting foot on a planet. This would necessitate a complete rethinking of our societal structures and norms. The spaceship would essentially be a self-contained world, needing to recycle and renew its resources constantly to sustain life. That means every inch of the ship would have to be designed with efficiency in mind. Hydroponic farms could produce food, water could be recycled, and energy could be generated from the nuclear propulsion system, or perhaps through a Dyson sphere if we're getting ambitious. Life would also need to be structured to combat the psychological challenges of living in confined spaces for extended periods. There would need to be ample recreational facilities and programs to promote mental well-being. Education would also be crucial, as each generation would need to learn the skills necessary to maintain the ship and its systems, but it wouldn't all be about survival. The ship could also have digital archives containing the collective knowledge and culture of humanity, so even as new generations grow and develop in the confines of their spaceborne home, they would still be connected to their roots on Earth. All of this points to a dramatic shift in the way humans live and interact. With a population confined to a single vessel for multiple generations, society on board our space ark would likely evolve in ways that we can barely imagine. So we've designed our spaceship, equipped it with cutting-edge propulsion, and planned for a sustainable life on board. But how would this drastic change in lifestyle affect our society and our way of life? Well, living on a generation spaceship is likely to result in significant societal changes. With the entire population confined to a single vessel, our existing structures of countries and borders would become obsolete. Instead, the ship might be divided into zones or departments, each with its own function and responsibilities, creating a new sort of division and social structure. With finite resources, the concept of economy would also need to be drastically reimagined. Instead of wealth being defined by money or material possessions, it might be determined by access to certain privileges, or based on one's contribution to the ship's operations and maintenance. Our governance systems would also likely evolve. In such a contained environment, every action has a direct impact on the community, making cooperation and consensus building paramount. We might see new forms of democracy emerge, optimized for the specific challenges of spaceborne society. Furthermore, the fixed population aboard the spaceship would require strict population control measures. Family units and relationships could transform, and new norms and cultural practices might evolve in response to these unique circumstances. Also, the psychological impact of living in a completely human-constructed environment, isolated from the natural world, could prompt a shift in our cultural and artistic expression. Spaceborne generations might develop new forms of art and music, drawing inspiration from their unique experiences and environment. Finally, the shared mission of survival and the constant reminder of our fragile existence could foster a profound sense of unity and shared purpose among the ship's inhabitants. On this journey, humanity might finally become truly global, in a sense far deeper than anything we've experienced before. And all of this begs the question, would we still be the same humans who once lived on Earth, or would this new lifestyle create something entirely new? A new way of being, a new definition of human. Now let's imagine. Generations have passed and our spaceship finally approaches its destination, a potentially habitable planet, a distant promise turned into reality. How would we go about settling on a completely alien world? The initial task would be to survey the new world, using a combination of sophisticated onboard instruments and drones to assess its viability for human habitation. These would examine the planet's atmospheric composition, gravity, temperature, presence of water, and any potential biological life forms. But even after the green light is given, there is the daunting task of setting foot on a completely new world. The first settlers, most likely a group of highly trained specialists, would need to construct an initial base, possibly using resources harvested from the new world itself. This could involve in-situ resource utilization technologies, such as 3D printing habitats using local materials, or establishing hydroponic systems for agriculture. Settling a new planet might also mean dealing with an environment significantly different from Earth's. The planet's gravity might be stronger or weaker, the days and years might be longer or shorter, the climate harsher. Human bodies evolved over millions of years for life on Earth might have to adapt to these new conditions, possibly leading to physical changes over generations. Once a stable base is established, the remaining population could gradually descend from the spaceship to populate the new world. As the settlers spread out, they may even form distinct communities, each adapting to their particular environment in unique ways. Culturally, the settlers may carry forward traditions from the ship, but also develop new ones influenced by their novel surroundings. A new chapter of human history would thus begin, with its roots in the spaceship that carried its ancestors across the interstellar void. And as our new home fills with the hustle and bustle of human activity, we'd look back at the empty spaceship, the cradle of several generations, a silent witness to the incredible journey that took humanity from a distant blue dot to this strange new world. Well, there we have it, an epic journey across generations and the cosmos, aboard a spaceship built as humanity's last hope. This may sound like science fiction today, but who knows? As our knowledge and technology continue to expand, such a future could be within our reach. We've seen how our spaceship might be designed, how life would be on board, and the societal changes that might occur. Then, finally, the arrival, a new home, an alien world turned into a human habitat. It's a sobering, awe-inspiring thought of what our future could hold. And as always, thanks for watching and keep pondering these fascinating possibilities, because curiosity fuels our journey, both on Earth and beyond. Have you ever thought about what could suddenly trigger a shift in our planet's climate? And I don't mean gradual changes over centuries, but a dramatic, near instantaneous switch. Well, around 12,900 years ago, that's precisely what seemed to have happened in a period called the Younger Dryas. But what if this sudden climate shift was not due to terrestrial events, but rather a result of a catastrophic cosmic encounter? Yes, we're delving into the realm of the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis today, a controversial theory that postulates our past and potentially our future might have been or could be significantly influenced by events not just on Earth, but in the cosmos. Buckle up, because things are about to get chilling. When we think of the past, we tend to think of a linear, steady progression. But what if I told you that sometimes Mother Nature prefers to take detours? Enter the Younger Dryas, a dramatic reversal in our planet's warming trend that took place around 12,800 years ago. After the last glacial maximum, approximately 20,000 years ago, Earth had been steadily warming up. Ice sheets were retreating, and life was adapting to the post-Ice Age world. However, this warming suddenly reversed around 12,800 years ago in an event we now call the Younger Dryas. Within a decade, temperatures in the Northern Hemisphere plummeted, causing a rapid expansion of ice sheets and a sudden shift in ecosystems. This period is named after a flower, Dryas octopetala, an alpine species well adapted to cold conditions. The dramatic increase in the pollen of this plant in sediment layers from this time is a testament to the sudden shift to colder conditions. Imagine a world where in a human's lifetime, familiar landscapes transformed into frozen tundra. Rivers that once flowed freely froze over, and the great mammals of the Ice Age, like the woolly mammoth and saber-toothed cat that were on the decline, got an extended lease on life, though ultimately short-lived. Now, the Younger Dryas lasted for approximately 1,200 years, and then almost as abruptly as it started, it ended. Around 11,600 years ago, temperatures started to rise, and within a human lifespan, they increased by about 7 degrees C in Greenland, signaling the end of this cold snap and the beginning of the current interglacial period, the Holocene. This dramatic period of climatic upheaval left a deep impression on the planet and potentially on the humans that lived through it. Now, the question that has sparked numerous debates among scientists is, what caused the Younger Dryas? When we think about extinction events and dramatic shifts in the Earth's climate, our minds often leap to the impact theory. We've all heard about the meteorite that wiped out the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. But could a similar celestial event be responsible for the sudden cooling during the Younger Dryas period? The Younger Dryas impact theory, also known as the Clovis comet theory, suggests that a massive impact or airburst from a comet or meteorite occurred around 12,800 years ago, triggering this sharp return to near-glacial conditions. This hypothesis was first proposed in 2007 by a team of scientists who found evidence of an extraterrestrial impact layer at multiple sites across North America. This layer is rich in magnetic grains with iridium, magnetic microspherules, charcoal, soot, and fullerenes with extraterrestrial helium, all of which are evidence for an impact event. This evidence, they proposed, suggested a cosmic impact event that caused large-scale wildfires, disruption of ecosystems, and the rapid cooling effect leading to the Younger Dryas. The theory also proposes that this impact event led to the extinction of many of the North American megafauna, such as the woolly mammoths and saber-toothed cats, and disrupted the Clovis culture, one of the earliest known human cultures in the Americas. The potential impact site has been a topic of discussion and investigation, with the younger dryas boundary-strewn fields stretching across several continents. One possible crater, the Hiawatha Glacier impact crater in Greenland, is currently a strong candidate. However, the impact theory has been controversial since its inception, facing considerable challenges and sparking heated debates in the scientific community. After all, a cataclysmic event of this scale would leave a substantial footprint in the geological record. So why do we see inconsistencies in the data, and why do some researchers struggle to find the evidence others claim is clear? Let's delve into the controversy and the ongoing hunt for definitive evidence. Evidence is the cornerstone of any scientific hypothesis. So, what evidence supports the younger dryas impact hypothesis? It's a multidisciplinary puzzle with pieces drawn from archaeology, geology, paleontology, and even astronomy. To start, there is a distinctive layer of sediment known as the Younger Dryas Boundary, YDB. This layer, dated to approximately 12,800 years ago, is found at various sites around the world, and it's notable for its high concentration of soot, indicative of widespread wildfires. This soot layer could suggest that an extensive burning event occurred around the time of the hypothesized impact, potentially due to a fiery airburst or impact event. This boundary layer also contains unusually high concentrations of nanodiamonds and magnetic spherules. Nanodiamonds can form under the extreme pressures and temperatures generated by an impact event, while magnetic spherules are small, spherical particles often associated with meteor impacts or volcanic activity. Moreover, scientists have identified a nearly 20-mile wide crater beneath the Hiawatha Glacier in northwest Greenland. The age of this crater is not yet precisely determined, but some evidence suggests it could be as young as 12,800 years, coinciding with the start of the Younger Dryas. There's also the puzzle of the megafauna extinction. The Younger Dryas period aligns with a major extinction event, particularly in North America, where many large animal species disappeared. The sudden nature of this extinction event fits with an abrupt, catastrophic event like a comet impact. However, it's worth noting that this evidence is still under debate within the scientific community. Several counterarguments challenge the interpretations of the data, with critics arguing that there could be other explanations for these observations. As with any good scientific inquiry, the theory continues to be tested and refined, and it's this rigorous examination that pushes our understanding forward. The Younger Dryas impact hypothesis has sparked its fair share of academic debates. After all, it proposes a major, abrupt event that significantly altered the course of Earth's climate and ecosystems, a claim that naturally invites rigorous scrutiny. One of the key criticisms concerns the age and origins of the Hiawatha crater in Greenland. While some evidence might suggest the crater was formed around the start of the Younger Dryas, the exact dating is not yet definitive. Critics also point out that the impact crater could have formed from a much earlier event, unrelated to the Younger Dryas period. A second point of contention revolves around the nanodiamonds and magnetic spherules found in the Younger Dryas boundary layer. Critics argue that these tiny structures could have formed through other processes unrelated to a cosmic impact, such as forest fires or volcanic eruptions. The theory also fails, in the eyes of some scientists, to sufficiently explain the uneven pattern of extinction during the Younger Dryas. While many large species went extinct in North America, the extinction patterns elsewhere in the world are less clear-cut. How would an impact event selectively cause extinctions in one area and not another? Finally, the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis is also challenged by alternative theories for the climate change. For instance, some researchers favor the idea that changes in ocean circulation caused the rapid cooling, possibly due to massive freshwater influx from melting ice sheets. In the grand scheme of things, the controversy surrounding the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis serves as a valuable reminder of how science progresses. Hypotheses are proposed, evidence is examined, and ideas are challenged. This process, while often contentious, is necessary for refining our understanding and moving science forward. It's the nature of the scientific method in its quest for truth. The implications of the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, if confirmed, would be far-reaching, reshaping our understanding of Earth's history and the forces that have shaped our world. Firstly, it would mean that cosmic impacts could have a much more direct and immediate influence on Earth's climate than previously thought. An impact event could rapidly change global temperatures, significantly affect the biosphere, and potentially drive mass extinctions. This would underscore the importance of monitoring near-Earth objects and furthering our understanding of cosmic threats to our planet. Secondly, the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis implies a potential link between cosmic events and human history. The Younger Dryas period coincides with the rise of agriculture and the onset of the Neolithic Revolution, the shift from nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyles to settled farming communities in various parts of the world. If a catastrophic event like a comet impact triggered the climate changes that ushered in this period, then that means the trajectory of human civilization as we know it might have been shaped in part by a cosmic event. Finally, it also raises questions about our future. If such an event were to occur today, the consequences would be devastating. Modern society, with its complex infrastructure and reliance on technology, would be drastically affected by sudden climate changes. Not only does the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis prompt us to delve into our past, but it also forces us to consider our future in a cosmic context. In that way, it's more than just a scientific theory. It's a perspective-altering concept that invites us to ponder our place in the universe and our vulnerability to the cosmos. And so we find ourselves in the wake of a chilling realization. If the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis holds, not only does it reshape our understanding of our planet's history and the powerful, possibly cosmic forces that have shaped it, but it also compels us to consider our precarious position in the universe. An unpredictable cosmic event could, in theory, at any moment trigger an abrupt and catastrophic change on Earth. But remember, while this might seem alarming, it's also a testament to our constant pursuit of understanding the world we live in and beyond, even when that understanding challenges our assumptions and forces us to confront our vulnerabilities. After all, as we navigate this cosmic journey, it's worth remembering. Imagine just for a moment the world going quiet. No buzz of electricity in the walls, no hum of computers or devices, not even the reliable light from a simple bulb. What if, with a sudden jarring shock, all electronics on Earth abruptly stopped functioning? It's an event called a global shutdown, an idea that might sound like it's ripped straight from the pages of a dystopian novel. But in actuality, it's a conceivable reality. A global shutdown isn't about a temporary power outage or a localized incident. Instead, it's a scenario where the intricate web of electronics that blankets our planet, an infrastructure that drives our communication, transportation, healthcare, and economy, grinds to an indefinite halt. We're talking about an event so massive and all-encompassing that it could affect everything from the phone in your hand to the International Space Station orbiting above us. This would plunge us into an era that could resemble the pre-electricity days. Suddenly, we're living in a world that's no longer shrinking because of our ability to travel swiftly or communicate instantaneously across great distances. Instead, the planet becomes a vast, intimidating wilderness again. How could this happen? What could cause such a staggering blow to our technologically tethered civilization? There are a few potential culprits, both natural and man-made, that we'll explore next. The prime natural suspect in our global shutdown scenario is a solar flare, or more specifically, a coronal mass ejection, CME. A colossal explosion on the sun's surface that spews an intense stream of charged particles into space. If Earth lies in the path of these particles, the result can be a geomagnetic storm that interacts forcefully with our planet's magnetic field. A particularly strong storm could induce electrical currents in our power lines, causing widespread blackouts. The Carrington event of 1859, the most powerful geomagnetic storm on record, caused telegraph systems across Europe and North America to fail. Telegraph papers even caught fire. Fast forward to today, and a similar event could be catastrophic, affecting everything from our power grid to satellites and undersea cables, the backbone of our global communication network. On the man-made side of things, we have the ominous prospect of an electromagnetic pulse, EMP attack. An EMP can be generated by detonating a nuclear weapon at a high altitude, which releases a burst of gamma radiation. This radiation knocks loose a horde of high-energy electrons that, moving near the speed of light, generate a powerful electromagnetic field as they're deflected by Earth's magnetic field. This sudden field shift can induce damaging current and voltage surges in electrical and electronic systems. potentially causing a massive continent-wide blackout. Both these scenarios, a powerful solar flare or a strategically deployed EMP, could cause the intricate electronic web our modern world relies on to unravel rapidly, plunging us into a new era of uncertainty and challenge. But what would this new era look like? Let's explore this in the next segment. As we have seen, the shutdown of all electronics is a scenario that can have several causes. But one thing is clear: the immediate and universal loss of power would have catastrophic effects on the preservation of our digital knowledge. This might lead you to question, what would happen to all the data and information that we've stored electronically? The first thing to understand is that the bulk of our digital knowledge, ranging from governmental databases to personal photos, is stored in two main formats: volatile and non-volatile storage. Volatile storage, like the RAM in your computer, requires a constant power source to maintain the information it holds. As soon as the power is cut, the data vanishes. However, non-volatile storage, such as your hard drive or flash drive, retains data even when powered off. So in a sudden universal power loss, any data in volatile storage would be instantly lost. But the integrity of data in non-volatile storage would still be at risk over the long term. Without climate-controlled environments provided by modern infrastructure, sensitive electronic components can degrade, potentially rendering data unreadable. Moreover, even if the physical storage media survive, the machines required to read this data would also need to be re-engineered, a colossal challenge in a post-electronic world. To compound the issue, even the non-digital information would be at risk. The shutdown of power would affect not just the devices we use for work, communication, and leisure, but also the systems that protect our libraries and archives. Without modern climate control systems, these repositories of knowledge would be susceptible to damage from humidity, temperature fluctuations, and pests. Overall, the loss of electronics would thrust us into a new dark age, not merely through the loss of convenience and connection, but through the irreplaceable loss of knowledge. This prompts us to ask, how would we rebuild our technology and our society? Let's explore this in the next segment. The loss of all electronics would plunge humanity into a new era, one where the knowledge and advancements we've worked centuries to achieve could be erased in an instant. We've grown so reliant on technology that we'd almost have to start from scratch, but how would we even begin to rebuild our technological world? First, we need to consider that while our knowledge of technology may be vast, the practical know-how is distributed and specialized. Few individuals have a comprehensive understanding of how to build an electronic device from scratch, let alone the complex machinery and infrastructure that underpins our technological civilization. The ability to mine and refine raw materials, to manufacture components, and to assemble and program a final product are all specialized skills spread across countless individuals and organizations. With the loss of all electronics, we'd be without the industrial and informational infrastructure that makes such distributed cooperation possible. Consequently, rebuilding would likely begin with simpler, more robust technologies. Think steam power, mechanical computing, and the telegraph. These technologies, less susceptible to an EMP or solar flare and simpler to manufacture, could serve as stepping stones toward higher technology. Recovering our current level of technology would likely take decades, if not centuries, and would depend heavily on maintaining social stability and literacy in the interim. It's important to note that this process would not be simply a replay of the Industrial Revolution. We'd be doing this with a fragmented understanding of a technological endpoint, and in a world stripped of easily accessible natural resources by prior industrial activity. The challenge then wouldn't just be how to rebuild, but how to rebuild sustainably. The path to reclaiming our electronic heritage would be a difficult one, full of obstacles and setbacks. Yet it's also an intriguing thought experiment. It makes us question our reliance on complex, fragile technology, and prompts us to consider how we could better safeguard our knowledge for future generations. In the next segment, we'll look at the potential social consequences of such a universal technological shutdown. Buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride. With the shutdown of all electronics, our societal structure would face massive upheaval. We live in a highly interconnected world where information, goods, and services flow across the globe in mere seconds. But strip that away and we're left with a society much more localized, much more immediate. The effects would be profound and far-reaching. Imagine it. The world's cities, once bustling with technology and human activity, plunged into silence and darkness. Traffic lights stopped functioning, causing gridlock on the roads. Public transportation grinds to a halt. Skyscrapers, once brilliant with light, stand dark and abandoned. Supermarkets, reliant on electronic systems for inventory and refrigeration, quickly exhaust their supplies. Our reliance on digital communication would hit us hard. No more internet, no more social media, no more instant communication across the globe. Families and friends would be cut off, possibly without knowing the fate of their loved ones. Governments would struggle to maintain control, their command and control structures paralyzed. In this vacuum, smaller, localized groups could take power. These groups could be benign or malign, but without a unifying authority, conflict would likely arise. That's not to say there wouldn't be benefits. In the wake of such a cataclysm, we'd likely see a return to more communal living, with local resources and skills becoming incredibly valuable. The experience could unite communities in a shared struggle, fostering cooperation and empathy. Education, too, would take on new importance. With our digital repositories of knowledge lost, each piece of information, each skill, each story becomes invaluable. In this sense, every person becomes a living library, their knowledge a lifeline to the past and a beacon for the future. It's a sobering scenario, but it's essential to remember that this is just a hypothetical situation. However, it serves as a stark reminder of our reliance on technology and the fragility of our digital society. In the next and final segment, we'll explore the steps we could take to mitigate the risk of such a cataclysm. Stay tuned. It's time to consider our technological future. So what could our future look like if all electronics were to shut off, plunging us into a world without the technological conveniences we've become so accustomed to? It's difficult to predict precisely, but we can make some educated guesses based on human history and our understanding of societal dynamics. In the immediate aftermath, there would certainly be confusion and panic. Our world is so deeply intertwined with technology that such a massive shift would be disorienting, to say the least. Food and water distribution would likely be a significant initial concern. With no power for refrigeration or to run machinery, our current food distribution system would fall apart. However, we as a species have shown ourselves to be remarkably adaptable. Over time, we'd likely see the re-emergence of older technologies and techniques. Picture candlelit homes, horse-drawn carriages, windmills and water wheels. Communities would need to become more self-sufficient, leading to a resurgence in local farming and other traditional methods of food production and distribution. Communications would revert to pre-digital methods. Physical mail, runners, semaphores, and maybe even pigeon post would make a comeback. Without GPS, old-school navigation techniques would need to be dusted off. Expect to see a rise in the use of maps, compasses, and maybe even sextants. In terms of rebuilding technology, a complete shutdown wouldn't erase our collective knowledge. Those with the skills and knowledge to rebuild would become invaluable. Mechanics, engineers, scientists, builders, these professions would be crucial in helping society regain some semblance of technological normality. The rate of this progress would depend on the availability of resources and the level of organization in these post-electronic societies. And what of governance? The loss of global communication systems would effectively fragment the world, making global governance as we know it impossible. Smaller, more localized governments would likely spring up, with power structures based on immediate needs and the abilities of individuals within the community. In essence, the world after an electronic shutdown would be radically different. The pace of life would slow, and the world would become a much bigger place. It's a scenario that requires us to rethink our relationship with technology. In the realm of ancient mysteries and cosmic connections, few thinkers are as provocative and insightful as Randall Carlson. His work bridges the gap between scientific observation and esoteric wisdom, uncovering a world where cataclysms sculpt the Earth's surface, cosmic cycles influence humanity's destiny, and ancient myths encode timeless truths. From deciphering geological evidence that points to massive past upheavals to unraveling the symbolism that connects civilizations across time and space, Carlson's theories invite us to view our world and its history through a profound and interconnected lens. Embark on this journey as we explore the intricate theories of cataclysms and cycles, the rock-hard evidence from geology, the predictions derived from cosmic cycles, and the profound connections unearthed in ancient myths and symbolism. And Randall Carlson's work extensively delves into the concept of cataclysms and cycles, examining the history of Earth through geological evidence, ancient mythologies, and astronomical data. He argues that Earth has undergone several catastrophic events, which he believes are part of larger cosmic cycles. Carlson has spent years investigating the scars left by enormous floods in the geological record. By studying the channeled scablands in the United States, he has provided evidence that colossal floods have shaped the landscape, supporting the idea that sudden, cataclysmic events have played a crucial role in Earth's history. This contradicts the traditional slow and gradual geological models. One of the key components of Carlson's theories revolves around the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis. This theory posits that a large comet or meteorite impact occurred around 12,800 years ago, triggering massive floods, fires, and a sudden cooling of the climate known as the Younger Dryas period. Carlson argues that this event wiped out megafauna and disrupted human civilizations. Carlson also explores ancient myths and legends that describe world-destroying floods, fires, and other catastrophes. He believes that these myths may be rooted in real events and that they preserve the memory of cataclysms that our ancestors witnessed. He connects these ancient stories with geological evidence to form a cohesive narrative. Beyond isolated events, Carlson emphasizes the idea of cosmic cycles governing these cataclysms. He suggests that Earth's position in the galaxy, combined with predictable celestial mechanics, leads to periods of increased comet activity. These cycles could then lead to recurring periods of catastrophic change on Earth. Carlson pays particular attention to the precession of the equinoxes, a 2,600-year cycle affecting Earth's orientation. He connects this astronomical phenomenon to ancient knowledge, arguing that many ancient cultures were aware of these cycles and incorporated them into their mythologies and architectures. The notion of cataclysms and cycles has profound implications for our understanding of history and our place in the universe. Carlson warns that if these cycles are real, we may be due for another cataclysmic event. As with many of Carlson's ideas, his theories about cataclysms and cycles have sparked debate and controversy. Critics argue that some of his interpretations of geological evidence are speculative, and his reliance on ancient myths as historical evidence is contentious. Nevertheless, his ideas have gained a significant following and have contributed to a broader conversation about Earth's history and the nature of human civilization. Randall Carlson's theories often hinge on interpreting geological evidence in a way that supports the idea of cataclysms and cyclical events. His approach to geology integrates various scientific disciplines, including geomorphology, sedimentology, and hydrology, to present a comprehensive picture of Earth's turbulent past. A major focus of Carlson's geological investigations is the channeled scablands in the northwestern United States. These unique landscapes are marked by deep channels, coulees, and vast gravel bars, which Carlson argues are the remnants of colossal floods. He connects this with the Missoula floods, a series of catastrophic events that occurred at the end of the last ice age, caused by the repeated rupturing of an ice dam holding back glacial Lake Missoula. By closely examining the erosion patterns, sedimentary deposits, and geological formations in the channeled scablands, Carlson illustrates how water can exert immense force over a short period, reshaping landscapes in dramatic ways. He emphasizes that traditional geological models, which often prioritize slow, gradual processes, may overlook the impact of sudden, cataclysmic events. Carlson also explores evidence of cosmic impacts in the geological record. He points to specific impact craters, shocked minerals, and microscopic diamonds known as nanodiamonds that suggest the Earth has been struck by comets or meteorites in the past. These impacts could have triggered massive tsunamis, wildfires, and climate shifts, leaving indelible marks on the planet's surface. The study of glacial geology also plays a central role in Carlson's work. He analyzes the movements and melting patterns of glaciers, especially during the transitions between ice ages, to understand how these vast ice sheets have influenced sea levels, weather patterns, and ecological systems. His research helps to shed light on how glacial dynamics interact with other geological processes to create complex patterns of change. In his quest to uncover the history of ancient civilizations, Carlson delves into underwater archaeology, exploring submerged structures that may provide clues to past cataclysms. He points to sunken cities, harbors, and temples as evidence that significant changes in sea levels and tectonic activity have shaped human history. What sets Carlson's approach apart is his ability to integrate geology with other scientific and cultural domains. He combines geological evidence with astronomical data, mythological narratives, and ancient architectural alignments to present a holistic view of Earth's history. This interdisciplinary approach allows him to draw connections between seemingly disparate phenomena, enriching our understanding of the planet's complex dynamics. Randall Carlson's research is not confined to the Earth alone. He extends his inquiry into the cosmos, exploring how astronomical cycles might influence geological phenomena and human history. The idea of cosmic cycles involves the recurrent patterns in the alignment of celestial bodies, solar activity, galactic interactions, and more. Carlson contends that understanding these cycles can unveil significant insights into both our past and our future. One of the fundamental cosmic cycles Carlson studies is the precession of the equinoxes, a slow wobble in Earth's rotation that causes the positions of the equinoxes to shift over time. This 25,200-year cycle has been observed and documented by various ancient cultures and plays a central role in Carlson's interpretations of ancient myths, sacred geometry, and archaeological alignments. Carlson also explores solar cycles, specifically the Sun's magnetic activity, which follows an approximately 11-year cycle. He links these cycles to changes in Earth's climate, arguing that fluctuations in solar radiation can cause significant variations in temperature, weather patterns, and atmospheric conditions. He illustrates how solar cycles might have contributed to historical climate events such as the Little Ice Age. On a grander scale, Carlson delves into the movements and alignments of the Milky Way galaxy, connecting them to potential cosmic collisions with comets and meteoroids. He examines evidence of past impacts and considers how these catastrophic events could coincide with mass extinctions, climatic shifts, and the rise and fall of civilizations. The concept of catastrophism underlies much of Carlson's thinking about cosmic cycles. He asserts that sudden dramatic changes in the cosmic environment can trigger equally sudden and dramatic changes on Earth. He aligns geological evidence of floods, fires, and glaciation with astronomical data to present a picture of Earth's history punctuated by intense and transformational events. Beyond analyzing past events, Carlson's study of cosmic cycles has predictive potential. By understanding the patterns and periodicities of astronomical phenomena, he argues that we might foresee future cataclysms and prepare for them accordingly. This predictive aspect adds a practical dimension to his work, highlighting the importance of cosmic awareness in contemporary society. Finally, Carlson's approach to cosmic cycles is deeply interwoven with his explorations of mythology, ancient wisdom, and sacred geometry. He sees cosmic patterns reflected in ancient texts, architectural alignments, and cultural practices, suggesting a profound connection between human civilization and the cosmos. This synthesis of astronomy with human culture enriches his theories, offering a holistic view of humanity's place within the cosmic order. For Carlson, myths are more than mere fables. They are allegorical records that encapsulate profound wisdom and knowledge about Earth's history. He deciphers myths from various cultures, such as the biblical flood story, Plato's account of Atlantis, and Native American legends, arguing that they may describe actual geological events like floods, meteor impacts, and cataclysms. Carlson explores how ancient myths often contain references to cosmic phenomena, such as the movements of stars, planets, and constellations. He studies myths from Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, India, and the Americas, revealing a profound connection between earthly events and celestial bodies. This cosmic symbolism, he argues, suggests a sophisticated astronomical understanding possessed by ancient cultures. Along with cosmic symbolism, Carlson investigates the recurring patterns and geometric shapes found in ancient art, architecture, and symbols. He interprets these patterns as expressions of sacred geometry, a universal language that reflects the fundamental structures of reality. Examples include the flower of life, the Sri Yantra, and the pyramid shape, which he sees as representations of cosmic order and spiritual truths. By examining myths across various cultures, Carlson also discovers remarkable similarities and shared themes. Whether it's the serpent symbolism in Mayan legends, the Norse world tree, or the Egyptian concept of Ma'at, he finds recurring motifs that suggest a common understanding or perhaps a shared cultural heritage. This cross-cultural connection supports his theory that myths contain universal knowledge transcending geographic and temporal boundaries. Carlson's exploration of myths is integrally connected to his research on cataclysms and cosmic cycles. He sees in the myths evidence of past catastrophic events, such as floods, volcanic eruptions, and meteor impacts. He also links mythological accounts to specific cosmic alignments, viewing them as historical records of astronomical phenomena and their effects on Earth. Randall Carlson's research transcends traditional boundaries, weaving together geology, astronomy, mythology, and sacred geometry into a tapestry that resonates with both the rational mind and the intuitive soul. Through the exploration of cataclysms that have shaped our planet, the geological footprints that bear witness to them, the cosmic patterns that influence life's ebb and flow, and the mythological narratives that have echoed through the ages, Carlson invites us to awaken to a deeper understanding of our world and ourselves. His work challenges not only our perception of history, but also our role within the cosmos. In the intricate dance of earth and sky, science and myth, Carlson offers a vision that unites, enlightens, and inspires. Hey there! Imagine waking up to a world fundamentally different from the one you slept in. It's not a thought we often entertain, but history has shown us that our planet and even human civilization are not immune to cataclysmic events. Today, let's explore some realistic doomsday scenarios that, though we hope never materialize, could change the very fabric of our existence. The Sun, an astronomical body we often associate with life, warmth, and energy, holds within it the power to reshape our world in ways we'd never want to experience. While its daily offerings allow life to thrive on Earth, its unpredictable bursts have the potential to push our technological civilization to its knees. Solar activity encompasses a range of phenomena. Among the most potent are solar flares and coronal mass ejections. While flares are intense bursts of radiation that can disrupt radio communication, CMEs are massive bursts of solar wind and magnetic fields rising above the solar corona or being released into space. If directed towards Earth, CMEs can have even more profound effects. In 1859, an event known as the Carrington event showcased what the Sun is capable of. Earth was hit by a colossal solar storm, one of the largest ever recorded. Auroras, which are typically seen near the poles, illuminated the skies as far south as the Caribbean. Telegraph systems worldwide went haywire, some even catching fire, proving that even the rudimentary technology of the time was not immune to the sun's fury. Fast forward to our modern era, with intertwined power grids, satellite communication, and a world reliant on digital technology. A similar event today could be cataclysmic. Power outages wouldn't just mean a few hours without electricity. They could last months, affecting water supply, healthcare, transportation, and more. Satellites, our eyes and ears in space and crucial for communication and navigation, could be severely damaged or rendered ineffective. The economic implications alone are staggering, with potential losses running into trillions of dollars. Understanding the potential threat, scientists and engineers are working towards solutions. Monitoring solar activity is paramount. Satellites like those in the Solar Weather Prediction Center keep a constant watch on the sun, providing invaluable data. On the ground, hardening power infrastructure and having contingency plans can make the difference between a manageable event and a complete societal breakdown. The key lies in preparation and resilience, ensuring that even if the sun shows its wrath, humanity can weather the storm. Supervolcanoes, unlike their regular counterparts, are colossal volcanic structures capable of producing eruptions thousands of times more powerful than typical volcanic activity. These aren't just your typical mountainous cones spewing lava. They are often vast calderas, giant depressions formed from previous massive eruptions. Approximately 74,000 years ago, the Toba supervolcano, located in present-day Indonesia, erupted. This wasn't just any eruption, it was one of the most potent volcanic events in the last 25 million years. The eruption caused a global volcanic winter, drastically reducing temperatures around the world. Some researchers speculate that the Toba event could have even bottlenecked human populations, pushing our ancestors close to extinction. In the heart of the United States, beneath the scenic beauty of Yellowstone National Park, lies another supervolcano, the Yellowstone caldera. Its last massive eruption occurred approximately 640,000 years ago, spewing vast quantities of ash and altering global climates. Today, while the caldera is regularly monitored and displays signs of geothermal activity, it's a constant reminder of nature's latent power beneath our feet. Should a supervolcano erupt in our modern era, the consequences would be severe. Immediate impacts would include regional devastation from lava flows, ashfall, and pyroclastic flows. Superheated clouds of gas and volcanic matter that sweep across the landscape. But the more extended effects could be even more concerning. The immense volume of ash propelled into the atmosphere could block out sunlight, leading to a global volcanic winter. This would result in failing crops, plunging temperatures, and disruption to global food chains. Economies would be hit hard and widespread societal challenges would emerge. Given the potential global implications, supervolcanoes are closely monitored. Advanced geophysical techniques are employed to detect ground deformations and gas emissions, providing vital insights into magma movement and potential eruption precursors. While preventing a supervolcanic eruption remains beyond our capabilities, understanding these sleeping giants, predicting their behavior, and preparing for possible scenarios is our best defense against these natural time bombs. Asteroids are rocky remnants from the early solar system, floating in space primarily between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter in what we call the asteroid belt. While many remain in this region, some get knocked off their paths and venture close to Earth, termed as near-Earth objects. One of the most famous asteroid impacts occurred approximately 65 million years ago, leading to the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event. This impact, resulting from an asteroid about 10 kilometers in diameter, created the Chicxulub crater in present-day Mexico. The aftermath witnessed the extinction of around 75% of Earth's species, including the non-avian dinosaurs. Such is the immense power of a large asteroid impact. More recently, in 1908, a smaller but still significant explosion occurred over Tunguska, Siberia. While no impact crater was discovered, an estimated 2,000 square kilometers of Siberian forest was flattened. Researchers believe that a comet or asteroid, approximately 50 meters in size, disintegrated in the Earth's atmosphere, causing this widespread destruction. While large asteroid impacts are infrequent, their consequences can be globally catastrophic. A significant impact could result in massive fires, tsunamis, if it lands in the ocean, and a so-called impact winter due to the vast amounts of particulate matter propelled into the atmosphere. This would block sunlight, disrupt global climates, and severely affect food production. To address this cosmic threat, various space agencies and observatories around the world are continually monitoring the skies for potentially hazardous asteroids. Projects like the Pan-STARRS or the Near-Earth Object Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer have been launched with the specific aim of detecting these space rocks. If a potentially dangerous asteroid is identified, potential mitigation strategies, ranging from deflection using kinetic impactors to gravitational tugs, are being researched to prevent a calamitous impact. Beneath Earth's crust, the outer core, composed of molten iron and other metals, is in constant motion. This movement generates electric currents, which in turn produce our planet's magnetic field. This invisible shield, known as the geomagnetic field, extends thousands of kilometers into space and protects Earth from harmful solar radiation. Historically, Earth's magnetic poles haven't been fixed in one place. Scientific studies have found evidence suggesting that the magnetic poles move or migrate at a rate of 10 kilometers per year. This movement is natural and is termed as geomagnetic secular variation. But beyond this gradual drift, there's a more dramatic shift that occasionally takes place. The magnetic pole reversal or geomagnetic flip. The idea of magnetic pole shifts might sound alarming, but they have occurred numerous times in Earth's history. According to rock records and ocean floor magnetic anomalies, there have been about 170 pole reversals over the last 100 million years. The last reversal, named the Brunhes-Matuyama reversal, occurred approximately 780,000 years ago. A complete pole reversal doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that can take thousands of years. During this time, the strength of the magnetic field diminishes, reducing its capability to shield the Earth from solar radiation. This could lead to increased radiation levels affecting not just technology like satellites and power grids, but also increasing exposure for aircraft passengers, especially those on polar routes. While a weakened field may make us more vulnerable to solar storms, it's essential to remember that a reversal has happened many times before without causing mass extinctions or significant biological impacts. The main concern in today's interconnected world would be our reliance on technology that's sensitive to solar radiation. With the growing importance of technology in our daily lives, there's a higher emphasis on understanding and predicting geomagnetic behavior. Continuous monitoring of Earth's magnetic field is undertaken by institutions globally, ensuring that we're not caught unawares by significant changes or fluctuations. Earth's climate is a product of countless interacting systems, with the greenhouse effect playing a crucial role. It's a natural process where certain gases in our atmosphere trap heat, warming our planet to temperatures that sustain life. Without the greenhouse effect, Earth would be a frozen wasteland, too cold for most life as we know it. Water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and a few other gases are primarily responsible for the greenhouse effect. They act like a thermal blanket, retaining some of the sun's energy that would otherwise be radiated back into space. In moderation, these gases maintain a stable and livable global temperature. A runaway greenhouse effect refers to a scenario where this natural heating mechanism goes into overdrive. This could be initiated by several factors, including volcanic eruptions or large-scale methane releases. However, the most significant contemporary contributor is human activity. Industrial processes, deforestation, and burning fossil fuels increase the concentration of greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide, in the atmosphere. For a stark visualization of a runaway greenhouse effect, one need not look further than our neighboring planet, Venus. With surface temperatures soaring above 900 degrees Fahrenheit, it's hotter than even Mercury, which is closer to the Sun. Venus's thick atmosphere of carbon dioxide, coupled with clouds of sulfuric acid, has created a severe greenhouse effect, making it a hostile environment. While Earth is currently nowhere near the conditions of Venus, the consequences of a severe greenhouse effect could be catastrophic. Rising temperatures lead to melting polar ice caps, resulting in rising sea levels that could inundate coastal regions. Warmer conditions also alter weather patterns, leading to more frequent and severe droughts, storms, and heat waves. Such changes would inevitably impact agriculture, water resources, and human habitation. Hey there! Earth, our home, is a pretty stable place, but throughout its history there have been a number of significant events that, well, shook things up a bit. Some were so powerful they almost hit the reset button on all life. Today, let's dive deep into some of the most intriguing and catastrophic Earth-ending crises. Approximately 66 million years ago, Earth experienced a catastrophe that forever changed the course of its biological history. An asteroid, estimated to be about 10 kilometers in diameter, struck what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. This celestial intruder, traveling at an estimated speed of 20 kilometers per second, released an energy equivalent to billions of atomic bombs. The immediate aftermath was apocalyptic. The impact created a gigantic crater, now known as the Chicxulub crater, spanning 150 kilometers in diameter. This collision sent vast amounts of debris into the atmosphere, blanketing the Earth in darkness. This darkness, lasting possibly years, caused a dramatic drop in temperatures globally. With sunlight blocked, photosynthesis in plants became severely limited, leading to a cascading food chain collapse. Fossils and geological records from this period provide stark evidence of the devastation. The sudden drop in diverse species, especially the non-avian dinosaurs, marks this event's signature. Surprisingly, it wasn't just the massive creatures that went extinct. Many tiny, seemingly resilient organisms also disappeared from the fossil record. The Chicxulub impact is widely recognized as the primary culprit behind the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event, one of the 5 major mass extinctions in Earth's history. Rewinding Earth's timeline further, about 2.4 billion years ago, we encounter a less violent but equally transformative event, the Great Oxygenation Event, also known as the Oxygen Crisis. Before this period, Earth's atmosphere was majorly devoid of oxygen, dominated instead by methane and other gases. However, with the evolution of cyanobacteria, or blue-green algae as they're commonly called, everything began to change. these tiny organisms had a remarkable ability: photosynthesis. By harnessing the energy of the sun, they could convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose, a process that released oxygen as a byproduct. Over hundreds of millions of years, these microscopic powerhouses proliferated, filling the oceans and atmosphere with increasing amounts of oxygen. While this may seem like a positive shift, the sudden rise in oxygen levels was disastrous for many of Earth's early inhabitants. Organisms adapted to the previous low-oxygen environment found themselves in a world that was suddenly toxic. Many anaerobic species which thrived without oxygen were driven to extinction or forced into specific niches where oxygen levels remained low. Beyond the biological implications, the oxygen crisis had profound geological effects. With the atmosphere's increased oxygen, methane, a potent greenhouse gas, began to react and form carbon dioxide, which is considerably less effective at trapping heat. This shift likely resulted in a cooling of the planet, potentially leading to one of Earth's first major ice ages. Iron in the oceans also reacted with the surplus oxygen, leading to the deposition of banded iron formations, layers of iron-rich minerals found in ancient rock formations across the world. Together, these two events, separated by billions of years, underscore the dynamic and often unpredictable nature of Earth's history, shaped by both internal mechanisms and extraterrestrial forces. About 252 million years ago, Earth bore witness to the most devastating extinction event in its known history: the Permian-Triassic extinction, often referred to as the Great Dying. This cataclysmic event wiped out an astonishing 90% of all marine species and 70% of terrestrial vertebrate species. The reasons for such widespread destruction are complex and multifaceted. Scientific investigations into this extinction event point towards a combination of events pushing the planet's biology to the brink. One major factor was the vast volcanic activity in what is now Siberia. As these volcanic regions spewed vast amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere over thousands of years, global temperatures soared. The increasing warmth led to the loss of oxygen in the oceans, creating dead zones where marine life struggled to survive. Additionally, evidence suggests that the warming might have released seabed methane, a potent greenhouse gas amplifying the already rising temperatures. This, combined with acid rain resulting from the volcanic eruptions, severely impacted plant life, leading to a further disruption in the food chain. Fossils from this period paint a bleak picture, a world undergoing drastic change where complex ecosystems collapsed and once thriving species disappeared. From dominant synapsids to massive coral reefs, the swathes of life that the Permian-Triassic extinction silenced is a humbling reminder of the Earth's ever-evolving nature. Venturing back to a time between 720 and 635 million years ago, our planet underwent one of its most extreme climatic changes, the Snowball Earth hypothesis. This theory suggests that Earth was, at least on 2 occasions, entirely encased in ice, from its poles to the equator. Multiple lines of evidence support this chilling hypothesis. Glacial deposits, typically found in polar regions today, have been discovered in places now situated near the equator. Ancient rocks from this period show signs of glacial abrasion. Furthermore, specific chemical signatures in these rocks indicate a sudden drop in global temperatures. But how did our warm, life-supporting planet turn into a frozen snowball? Some theories suggest that this drastic cooling could have been instigated by the lowering levels of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, possibly due to the proliferation of photosynthesizing microorganisms. These microbes might have consumed carbon dioxide, a major greenhouse gas, causing a significant drop in global temperatures. Once this cooling began, a feedback loop could have intensified the process. As ice reflects more sunlight than open water or land, the more the Earth's surface froze, the more sunlight it reflected back into space, causing even more cooling. Though the Snowball Earth might sound like a desolate, lifeless phase in our planet's history, it was quite the opposite. This extreme environment could have spurred evolutionary innovation. Some theories propose that the pressures of the Snowball Earth period led to the evolution of multicellular life, setting the stage for the complex web of life we see today. Far beyond our planet, in the mysterious depths of space, lie sources of immense energy capable of causing global havoc: gamma-ray bursts. These are the brightest electromagnetic events known to occur in the universe, emitting more energy in a few seconds than our Sun will during its entire 10 billion-year lifetime. GRBs are believed to originate from the core collapse of massive stars or from the merger of two compact stars such as neutron stars. When these cataclysmic events occur, they release a focused beam of gamma rays. If Earth were to lie in the direct path of this beam from a relatively nearby source, the results could be catastrophic. The Earth's atmosphere would initially absorb the intense high-energy radiation, creating nitrogen oxides that could deplete the ozone layer significantly. This depletion would allow harmful ultraviolet rays from the Sun to penetrate our atmosphere, leading to a dramatic increase in UV exposure on Earth's surface. Such an increase could harm the DNA of surface-dwelling organisms, severely affecting ecosystems, especially phytoplankton, which forms the foundation of the oceanic food chain. Historical data points to a potential link between a GRB and a mass extinction event that occurred 443 million years ago, during the late Ordovician period. The exact correlation remains a topic of debate, but the potential danger of a GRB is a stark reminder of the universe's unpredictable nature. Around 74,000 years ago, in what is present-day Sumatra, Indonesia, a colossal volcanic eruption occurred. This wasn't just any volcanic eruption. It was a supereruption from the Toba supervolcano. The sheer scale of this eruption is difficult to grasp. To put it in perspective, the Toba eruption was approximately 5,000 times more powerful than the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens. The aftermath was equally monumental. The eruption spewed an estimated 2,800 cubic kilometers of volcanic material. Ash from the eruption was deposited as far away as India, covering vast areas in a thick, life-stifling layer. This massive output of volcanic gases, including sulfur dioxide, might have led to a global volcanic winter, a dramatic cooling period due to the reflection of sunlight by volcanic particles in the atmosphere. The Toba catastrophe theory postulates that this event had significant global consequences, especially for early human populations. The volcanic winter, which could have lasted several years, would have resulted in colder temperatures, reduced precipitation, and widespread vegetation loss, making survival challenging. Genetic evidence suggests a possible bottleneck in human evolution around this time, a significant reduction in population and genetic diversity. Some theories propose that the Toba eruption reduced the global human population to a small number of survivors from which all humans today are descended. While the exact impact of the Toba supereruption on human populations and the global climate is still a matter of scientific debate, the potential power of supervolcanoes to alter the course of life on Earth is undeniable. In the relatively recent past, Earth experienced a solar event of such magnitude that, had it occurred today, it could have thrown our modern world into chaos. This event, known as the Carrington event, occurred in 1859 and remains the most powerful solar storm on record. Our Sun, a constant presence in our sky, is far from stable. It's a bubbling, burning ball of gas, and occasionally, it releases a massive burst of solar wind and magnetic fields. This burst, known as a solar flare, has the potential to wreak havoc on Earth's magnetosphere. During the Carrington event, British astronomers Richard Carrington and Richard Hodgson reported witnessing an incredible white light solar flare. Just 17 hours later, the Earth was hit by the resultant coronal mass ejection. Auroras, normally seen only in the polar regions, were visible as far south as the Caribbean. Telegraph systems across North America and Europe malfunctioned, with some even catching fire, demonstrating the power and reach of geomagnetic storms. The event is a chilling example of our vulnerability to space weather. In a world increasingly reliant on electronic communication and power grids, a solar storm of this magnitude today could result in widespread power outages, satellite failures, and communication breakdowns, with potential economic implications reaching into the trillions of dollars. And as always, I hope you enjoyed our video today. Thanks for watching.